So close. They almost had it, but unsurprisingly, they missed the mark yet again. Now look, don't get me wrong, there is some things in here that I do like or don't mind, and I'll go into further detail when we get there. But deadass, what makes this company so deathly afraid of just going full classic? Halo used to start trends, now it's just a lost puppy that can't help but follow the crowd. Like, no matter how much people show how much more popular MCC is, despite it still being a broken piece of shit, they can't help but adding in bullshit like sprint and aim down sights. Hold up, let's back it up real quick and start from the top. Straight off rip. The Pelicans. They at least look like a Halo Pelican, but they look more like the Halo Infinite Pelican, so it just kind of feels a little off. All of them are so clean too, like as if they just came fresh out the factory. Instead of that distinct grayish black with a worn and scuffed up finish, the Pelicans got a green finish. Also, the Pelican thrusters seem a lot more stiff in this game. They could be a little bit more reactionary. More of a nitpick, but it would have been so cool to see it more in a CE finish. But one thing I can give them props for so far is giving foehammer a face. I didn't give it much thought before, but this is a great add-on. That's a rare 343W to be honest. I seen a couple people on Twitter complaining that they made her black, but I always got the impression that she was black just based off of the voice. So I don't even get why that's a complaint by some of the people in the first place. Again, props to 343 here. Hopping off the Pelican, the pistol doesn't have that iconic cockback sound effect or any sound effects even Halo 5 paid more homage to. It looks fine, but I wish the entire body of the gun was that slick bright silver from OG CE. And is that a filthy fucking hit marker in big Halo CE? Look, this is what visual clarity is. Elite shields flaring up and every other enemy flinching when hit. You even see their blood spewing out for added clarity. So why the sack is there hit markers in a game that had a perfect way of telling you when you hit an enemy already? Not even gonna mention the lack of elite shield effects, cause I'm well aware they're gonna be adding shield effects later on, but hey, look at that. Flinching enemies when you hit them. The fuck do you need a hit marker for? And they better get the original shield effects back too. The way they were in CE was just too crisp. The HUD, despite being movable, looks nothing like Combat Evolved. Just look at the overall design. Why does it look like Halo Infinite? And for whatever reason, your allies on the motion tracker are white. Now that's changeable too, but none of this shit should have been changed in the first place. And it sucks cause even though the legacy players know what's up, all this shit is gonna be the way it is by default, so all the potential new players aren't gonna get that original CE feel either, and most people won't be digging in the settings to change it. Like, I get it if they want to change up the default HUD layout for Infinite, but why even change it in the remake? They should be trying to make it feel like CE off rip. The potential new players should be experiencing the game like how we did off rip. There's no extra health bars, and as we learned going through the demo, there are no health packs to pick up. I don't know why, but they decided to take away that mechanic. And there isn't any power-ups either. Big surprise. Switching to the assault rifle. That thing sounds hideous. And the muzzle flash looks weak as hell. Along with it losing its original reload animation. The gun design is okay, but I wish that the ammo counter screen was a bit more like the original with a more pinched rhombus shape. And the overall top part of the gun having a bit more housing around the screen. Like, this new one's a bit more flat and fat at the same time. Like, I don't know, just look at it. Nah, hold up. Y'all didn't think I was gonna let that 32 round magazine size slide, did you? Can you fat motherfuckers not count past 32 or something? It's either like that for comp or whatever new weapons they're gonna add, which are both dog shit reasons to nerf it. Like, nah, fuck all that. Give us that unrealistic 60 round mag dump we all love. It's 343 though, so it's all about the maheckin' realism. Grunts sound like their Halo CE selves, which is music to my ears as they scream and scatter. Good job, 343. But those grunts need to resemble their CE counterparts a little better. While they do look like Halo, they don't look like CE along with the rest of the Covenant and even the Marines. I really hope they replace these assets with a more CE looking build. Yippee, a sprint! Yeah, little nigga, I'm on the boat of this game not needing sprint. And the toggle dismissal is a dog shit rebuttal, cause if you can just do that, then why even put it into the game in the first place? Look at this shit. It looks like Halo 5 sprint. I peeped that shit the moment I watched this showcase. Why even add this shit to a game that was literally built around not having it? You already got that shit in Infinite, and look how well that turned out. The moment you go to remake a game, actually try to remake it as close as as possible to the original. At the very least, I think any brain-dead donkey who's used to every game having sprint should at least have to work for it by having to find and get an extremely hard skull to turn it on. Yes, I am dead ass. If you want to be a bot, earn your mindlessness at the very least. But I'd prefer if they actually designed the game around no sprint and make the game closer to the original. Bungie figured it out with the very real 30 seconds of fun philosophy they implemented, so you didn't need sprint because of how tight the encounters were. And they gave you a vehicle for any vast distances. 343 matched the same energy challenge. Yeah, that's impossible. That shit's never happening. While grunts got their original dialogue, I can't really say the same for the elites. Their voices sound a lot more gruff, and why are they even speaking full English? They break these elite shields and they barely move or react like how they're supposed to. Just dry blank staring at you standing still like a dumb dog. The plasma pistol sounds like ass. Again, missing those iconic sounds. Then it looks like the Halo Reach plasma pistol, but having the venting shaft opening up backwards like Halo 5's plasma pistol. Boy, hell no. This Forerunner structure, while resembling more of Bungie's art style, still just looks like a mesh of random metal and kinda generic in shape. Like, now it doesn't even look like it does anything and it's just changed for the sake of it. Also note that there's barely any weathering on the thing and a bit too clean, like it's been being polished. And just like everybody else, that's the first thing I noticed the moment they landed on the beach. There's not even any signs of high tide, which is ironic considering how much they love their heckin' realism. And don't yap to me about the fucking sentinels, cause that's not what they do. And look at this, the planet Threshold is on the wrong side of the skybox. Like, how do you even fuck that up? Oh right, it's 343 we're talking about. Now this warthog looks like what you'd get if you were trying to avoid copyright. Why does this thing look like it's in stretched res? And why does the thing look lowered with those ugly ass wheels? Shit looks like a Ford Raptor more than a warthog. The bitch even sounds like it too. Like, deadass, this is what you'd get if you imagine the Ford Raptor with a Halo skin on it. Look at this goofy ass shit. This dumbass elite keeps running straight instead of trying to dodge. Bro, they don't even try to evade. What's with this scuffed ass AI? Like, bro, y'all have the blueprint for compelling AI at your fingertips. Use them. What the fuck? And of course the plasma rifle sounds more muted than its CE version. The thing's slightly over-designed and looks a bit strange with that offset. Tuck that thing back like in CE. You'll notice they replaced the ominous Covenant comm boxes with some random purple bullshit. Like, what does this shit even do? Get this hideous blob off my screen. You'll notice the interiors have the opposite problem CE Anniversary had. Like, now it's just dark as hell and harder to see through, making it feel a lot more bland than in Halo CE. Oh brother, there go that famous ugly ass Needler with a useless LED screen on the back of it. Of course they bring that garbage from Halo Infinite despite bringing in an OG version of the Needler in that game. And don't yap to me about it being a problem now. Not only does this design not make any sense canonically, but niggas was also shitting on it back then, and rightfully so. It's a dumbass design where you can literally see the ammo right there. Why the fuck would it make any sense for them to have a bunch of dots on a redundant LED screen when their HUD would already tell them how much they have? And don't try to talk about the UNSC number counters either. I'm pretty sure you could figure out how numbers would be faster to read than looking at the ammo on the HUD. Just sloppy ass game design. But as this mindless drone sprints down the corridor, what do you notice?
Let's keep going inside.
Well, besides sprinting past the ominous ambience, if you guess the sounds of the footsteps feeling kinda you'd be unsurprisingly correct. I think you notice a trend of small details kinda adding up here. Now, I don't know how to feel about the plasma pistol having EMP effects in Halo 1, cause apparently, this version drains faster than in CE. I'm not 100% sure on that, but if that's true, I'd trade the EMP for it being able to last longer and not depleting ammo as fast. Hijacking is actually a cool addition. Shit like this is welcomed. But look closely, right after the elite hijacks the passenger, he just rubber bands right back into the seat like nothing happened. For a maheckin' realistic looking game in big 2025, that's pretty janky. So they get through this opening in the cliff. Slight problem. You're not supposed to be able to do that for a fucking reason. You're supposed to be forced to face this first wave while getting surprised at what's waiting for you at the other side. And not steamrolling the fucking hunters upon first contact. Oh my fucking god. Look man, even if you could one-tap them with the pistol in CE, only the legacy players would know that. But you're bringing this game over to PS5, kinda killing the only reason to get an Xbox. Hey, but that's kinda in line with how much Microsoft gives a fuck about Halo, which is 0. So that means a lot of new potential eyes on the game. They should experience Halo CE the way we did the first time and through Bungie's original vision. And that means they should be forced to face those hulking menaces on foot for this mission's first encounter. Not just blow through them with the Warthog. But of course, they don't respect elaborate game design. Then this area feels a lot more cluttered and cramped than in Halo CE. And of course, it's too damn dark along with this random forerunner triangle structure that just looks like a random piece of protruding metal. The structure you're fighting on is actually supposed to open upward like a giant vault. Again, they do not give a fuck, and it looks like it has no purpose besides change for the sake of it. Even though they completely changed the sound design of the pistol, at least they kept that sweet ass melee animation of it. Even though it's Halo 5's animation, it's still welcomed. Not sure if they nerfed the pistol or if they just buffed the hunters, but I can get behind making them a bit harder to kill. Okay, 343, y'all like 3 and 10 at the moment. I don't know, I lost count to be honest. More mindless sprinting and this goofy ass ADS. Damn bro, is that hologram a sore sight to see. It just looks like a generic blob instead of the interesting structural map of Halo CE's. Now, as good as this cutscene is, it just feels a little too human-like. Almost like he's posing for the camera with the way he moves rather than in CE. He's supposed to be more skittish and reactionary to the door opening and jumping out looking for a possible intruder, but like in the way an alien would. Since we on the topic of cutscenes, I forgot to point out why I didn't like how they completely changed up the opening cutscene instead of just remastering it. For one, there was only 2 pelicans here, and you don't see the crash pelican till you get back from the second hunter encounter. That's because Cortana tried to get a third pelican to deliver some heavy weaponry since we had to face some hunters. And I doubt you'll be able to even see that random third pelican from the opening cutscene. And then they had a swing pelican in the opening cutscene they decided to sterilize. Like they deadass decided to take the little personality out of here for no reason. So it's kinda just an unnecessary change. Also, while grabbing some clips, I noticed sprinting broke this music cue. Either that or this guy lobbing himself off the edge is what did it.
We need to go to the main facility. Let's head back down the beach.
Mayday! Mayday! Dropship Bravo 22 taking enemy fire! Repeat, we are under heavy fire and are losing altitude!
Understood. We're on our way.
Mayday! Mayday! Dropship Bravo 22 taking enemy fire! Repeat, we are under heavy fire and are losing altitude!
Understood. We're on our way.
3 for 11 now. So going back to the hunter basement, besides this guy sprinting past the ominous ambience, you can see the reticle turning red before he even shoots the invisible elites. Like, dog, why would they trivialize their camo like that? Oh yeah, I keep forgetting which company is behind this UE slop. Remember when I said this guy just lobbed himself off the edge? Why is that even possible now? Cause fuck intentional game design, that's why.
Modern gaming.
So we get some rockets from the now 4th Pelican on this mission. Even though it looks like the Spanker for the most part, it more so follows the design language of Infinite and Halo 2 Anniversary, with no audio similarities of Halo CEs of course. Like, where's the rotating clicking sound effects whenever you shoot the rockets? Again, it just sounds a bit generic. So then he mindlessly sprints to the next cutscene, and that's where this showcase concludes. But now, let's do a quick walkthrough. The graphics are nice for the most part, but they're still missing the mark. It just feels like a resemblance of Halo with a UE5 skin on top blending in with every other UE game. Instead of upscaling the original art style, they mostly honed in on Mahekan realism. I couldn't care less about all of that. They could preserve that original art style a lot better. I think the grunts are the only ones that sound like their Halo CE selves, with their dialogue, damage grunts, death sounds, etc. Elites and jackals and even the hunters kinda lack that Halo CE sound. The hunters more so for that distinct cannon sound effect they had in CE. I do like Chief's armor here. It definitely looks a lot more Halo than most of 343's titles, but I wish they'd done it up a bit more to keep his classic version of the armor, especially the legs and boots. It's not bad, but I'd prefer the more inline look of the original. It's not a completely cracked foundation, but of course, they gotta shoe in this half-ass sprint to make the mindless drones feel fast. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. When you design a game around not having sprint, you don't need it. When you're busy shooting packs of aliens, you aren't worried about sprinting. And if you notice throughout the demo, this guy has to keep awkwardly stopping because the encounters are just that close. Like, you don't feel goofy as fuck doing that shit? That sprint shit's gotta go, and just let the game design around no sprint overshadow the want for it. The AI looks stiff as hell, so you need to make them a lot more loose and reactionary. Please study how Bungie made them so great the first time around, cause they barely try to dodge shit or flank you or do anything. Weapons need to sound a lot more like their Halo CE counterparts along with the rest of the Covenant here, except for the grunts. And obviously with today's tech and giving them a bit more flavor but still keeping that Halo CE identity. Fix that hunter encounter and force the player to face them on foot. And even one of the original game developers famously comments on that part in particular. Get that aim down sights garbage out of here and add back D-scope. The lack of power-ups along with the health pack mechanic missing is a major L. As for the Forerunner structures, they should be a lot more in line with Halo CEs instead of just changing shit for the sake of it. They seem to be missing weathering details and got turned into a bunch of triangles for no reason. And all of the weapons should resemble Halo CE a lot more as well. I just love how anytime people point out how the art style is still off, people immediately bring it to the extreme and say, oh my god bro, you just want 2001 graphics. No dickhead, we just want the same shit but in better detail. Not just changing shit for the sake of it and worrying about Mahekan realism. I think shit like hijacking vehicles and being able to pilot the Wraith are welcome changes, but I'm worried about them prequel missions because they don't have a fully realized base that Bungie had. And same for the new weapons. I don't think they should be adding more than what they had on PC and maybe that sword, but that's about it. Cause hearing the fact they're gonna have 3 precision weapons now is just a bit much in my opinion. But I don't know, we'd have to see how they all fit in. You can have all the prettiest and most realistic graphics in the world, but none of that even matters if it doesn't completely feel like what you're trying to remake. It's just gonna be generic and jarring, and that's mostly how I felt watching this. Generic and jarring. This game looks like every other UE5 slop game, just with a somewhat Halo skin. They're so close, but they're still too far off. And while I was recording this video, the Halo CE walkthrough of this mission I was getting clips for was 19 minutes up until that cutscene, while he was on Legendary and fucking around a little bit. Even while backtracking through the vault door area where you faced the hunters the first time instead of lobbing himself off the edge. Meanwhile, the guys showcasing this demo must have been playing on normal. They deadass fucked up the game design for a measly 6 minutes. But hey, That's 343 for you, as per usual. But that's the end of what I think of this showcase. Subscribe and leave a like if you like, or a dislike if you disagree, and comment why. And definitely let me know if I missed anything. Alright, get on and get!
In Halo 1, there was maybe 30 seconds of fun that happened over and over and over and over again. So if you can get 30 seconds of fun, you can pretty much stretch that out to be an entire game. Encountering a bunch of guys, melee attacking one of them before they were aware, throwing a grenade into a group of other guys, and then cleaning up the stragglers before they could surround you. And so you can have all the great graphics and all the different characters and lots of different weapons with amazing effects, but if you don't nail that 30 seconds, you're not going to have a great game.